G'day, welcome to another Unjustly V-Rant. The reason why for the throat, first of all, it's I had a coughing fit and my throat is still a bit tender and sore. So this V-Rant is all about, or this Manchester V-Rant is all about a church in Western Australia, the Scarborough Baptist Church, who has been sued for who has been charged $1 million for disturbing the peace. I just find it to be absolutely disrespectful. A church that's been around for 60 odd years, with neighbors living in the area, some people growing up in the area, going to that church on a Sunday night and go, singing all things bright and beautiful, Amazing Grace, how sweet sound, to later day songs from Hillsong, as with an evening service being added in. The reason why this church is getting sued is because of it's a service that seeks homeless the homeless people. They go into their church grounds, they get a free hot meal, get some counseling before they go off and virtually go into the night, just waiting for the next 7 days for when the church is open, and they go in, get the hot meal, get like the dinner and eat it, more counseling, and then go. That's one reason. Another reason is the craft, like an elderly ladies crafts event. Honestly, it is a joke to think that women. I'm using the butt end of these Naruto weapons. Just going, knit one, pearl one. Sew one, loop and embroider this, embroider that. A daytime affair being classified as too noisy. The reason why you can hear this, actually, this. The reason why you can hear that was from my place is because I'm broadcasting it on YouTube. Just imagine you sitting with your grandmother and her friends, and they're just knitting away. Only you can hear inside that building the click and clack of the knitting needles clicking, and a little bit of camaraderie between the women. Like, they'll say, "Oh, did you hear the story of Shirley from the other day?" "Oh, no, please tell me." And they would just do that in a soft and polite tone. Apparently that is too noisy for the people in the surrounding area. I say that is the biggest bunch of hypocrisy on the planet. I have currently got it onto Google Maps, and in that area, let me see here, They have a cafeteria within let's see, within 60 meters of the church, and there they have outside, would believe to have outside eating, and there'll be music playing. You know, like some mariachi band or whatever form. It could be even coming in via the radio and with the modern day music of the Taylor Swifts and the One Directions and the like. Also with the clanking of plates, knives, forks, spoons. And a heavier and more vocal conversations between the patrons of that cafe. Scrolling up a bit, there is and just along that road, they have a Chinese food cafe, another cafe with ethnic sounding music, like from Japan, mainly in Japan, because it is. I just read here, Japanese food. Peke Cafe. And since Australia is the somewhat racist nation, that would be more distracting than a church singing songs from ye olde England. Then you got the Scarborough Yoga Center. In there they have Indian music, hippie music playing, which radiates into the street as well. Like ting ting, and I got this Namaste Yoga Isebori, you know, like an Indian chanting and that, and bit above it, bit on the same right, up the street a bit, is the Baruda Vita New Age Organic Pizzeria. It says organic pizza, but I say pizzeria. And even there you have clacking of, chinking of knives, forks, spoons, cutlery and crockery, moving across each other, making a noise. And just on the other side, more western, is the Butterbud Yoga. I think it's an ashram or something like that. And these are within a 1 kilometer radius of that church. Seeing looking at northern. It looks like there's it looks like a bus route along Duke Street, a wacky intersection couple wacky intersections within the 1 kilometer radius. There's what looks like a park between a couple of streets. Actually, let me see. There's 3 bus stops within that kilometer. 4 bus stops within that kilometer. Yeah, let me see. Scrolling down. There's the Scarborough Beach Road, which looks like a major intersection. There's a bodyboarding place. A place that sells alcohol is Scarborough Cellars. Tony's Spaghetti Bar. Another church in the area. There's a place called the Double View Vet Center. In there, they would have a lot of animals, you know, dogs barking, cats meowing, birds chirping, and various other animals going crazy. And all of this is within a 1 kilometer radius. Let me scroll out a bit more, and what else could I find here? There is another Italian pizza. Oh, let's not worry about that. There's a pizzeria there. There's several pizzerias within the northeast of the church. There is the John K. Lyons Oval, Double View Primary School, and all these places have noise. Let me see this. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. That's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 20. There's well and truly over 20 bus stops within that 1 kilometer radius of the church and from the surrounding neighborhood. There's so much noise going on all day, 7 days a week. But as I went into the church's website, they do have 2 days when they have Scarborough Baptist going to the. Now I'm reading from their ministries page. Not ministry. Their media release, which is what's happening. There is a youth Bible study. I have been a part of several Bible studies in youth and adult Bible study groups in my past. And we do speak about God and speak about how God has affected us and how God wants to do things in our lives and what we've learned. And we've discussed it in a manner of, in a nice calm environment. There's a boys and girls thing. Won't worry about that. There's like the youth programs of a Friday night. You'll get a lot more people, a lot more idiots who have got on the sauce too much, and went, hey, you got throwing up on the floor. Crazy men, predominantly men in their souped up machines, doof, 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 blasting on a Friday night, Saturday night. But then I hear nothing about them. But because this is a church, and churches are supposed to have one thing, and that's the 9 o'clock or a 9:30 or a 10 o'clock or a 10:45 sermon, leave it at finishing no later than 1:30, and everything will be in harmony. I say that is not enough church for anyone. Hell, I went one day. I went to 3 different churches. Yes, I went to an 8 o'clock sermon, went to a 10:45 service, and I went to a 7 o'clock service in 3 different suburbs. Now that's perfect, but they have the Sunday services, of course. This is afternoon Bible study, Explorers Bible study, intermission meal, Sunday at 6, worship meters leading, plus the morning service. These things, are they knocking on your door? Are they knocking on these people's doors that what people today would think is harassment by religious organizations? No, it is just, and I'm looking at the calendar, from Monday through to Thursday, nothing. Saturday, there's nothing there at all. Let's see. November. What does November hold for this humble little church? Well, the same things. Let's see, December. And don't be shocked. December. Well, I am shocked. They're not having a more. That they may have a. And this is for the city of Sterling. And let's see here. Google. Ay, caramba. boy. Now, and I'm from New South Wales, and it's just baffling me to think that wow. Ay, ay, ay. It's just so... this is great. From the city of Sterling. Latest news, and I'm reading straight off their website, and today's date is Friday the 20th. Let's just double check. Actually, Friday the 19th of October 2012. Latest news. Adopted dog from the city animal shelter. What's on? Let's see what is on in this little backwater city. Ho ho ho. I honestly love you. The city of Sterling, conjunction with Lockwood Production presents I honestly love you. It's some play. Yep. It's a pathetic play. And oh boy. High tea on the lawn. Oh. They're focusing too much on this. Oh. It is a joke. Honestly, it is a joke. But all of this. Now I know the reason why they're suing this church. That they want the $1 million from the church. And the $125,000 per each day that the thing is not, that they're not abiding by what the council says. They want to pay for these things, so their people can get there with no tax, with no paying of it. Brilliant! I'd say it's one of the most brilliant, underhanded, maniacal, malicious, vindictive, heartless, cruel, malevolent, dictatorship, whatever, evil, wicked, sinister, criminal. Yes. The last word, criminal. It is criminal to think that to take on a church which land does not cost $1 million. Most church lands cost on a maximum. Let me see, 800,000, and that's with the infrastructure on top. Oh, let's see what this SH is. Oh, out of school care. And that's honorable. Oh boy, I just thought it's just so pathetic. Openly, it is so pathetic to think that the Sterling City Council is putting so much pressure on this one church. When that city has got a very strong bus system, as I've said that there is, and this is only within a half a kilometer of said building, 20 bus stops. There is multiple eateries where they have a lot more, yes sir, how you going sir? Yes ma'am, how you going ma'am? What do you want ma'am? What do you want sir? Our bar is full of top-notch Australian beers and imported beers. Plus the roads during the weekend, loud doof 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 music and all that and all of that stuff keep on coming on and on and on. They are peaceful. They just want to help out people. I've watched the report on Current Affair, and they have and the things that they knit out. Just pretend this is like a French knitted snake. They'll go to like op shops and other such, and to orphanages, to a orphanage nearby, and to hospitals, jumble sales, and they do it for free of charge. If you really want to help people out, and I'm saying this to the council, you say you're doing this to be fair. It is not fair to sue. No. Fine a church $1 million, and on top of that, $125,000 per infringement of fineage. If that's the case, then I say, if anyone in that area of Sterling City whatever district, city, whatever, you're a bunch of jackasses in my book. Well, let me see. You should outlaw having parties in your area. In that entire district of Sterling City Council. There should be no grand final AFL grand final parties if the Bulldogs and the Dockers make it into the grand final together. Yes. No grand final parties for the AFL. No sporting celebrations. No one going to. Oh, mate, this UFC thing, we're going to have it on. Don't have it in the city. Sue everyone equally. Fine everyone equally. Then we'll see who will be having. It won't be the church will be having the last laugh. It'll be God. He'll be having the last laugh. I say to Sterling, be equal. ban meals at these in your city after 6. Ban them. Ban the service stations from operating after a certain hour. I say 8 o'clock would do suffice. Say to the various manufacturers, say to Macca's, the McDonald's company in Australia, anything to do with fast food, say, you can't drive through our city limits between the hours of 6 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. Do that if you want to be fair. Do $10,000 on the spot fines for people playing music too loud in their car and in their private residence. Be fair. If you say, oh, we can't infringe what we want on to private people. Guess what? You think since the church is a public thing, you have the right to? Churches have been God's property since day one. In some sense, God is the ultimate private sector. What this church is doing is helping the community. What this church is doing is bringing God's love into the world, bringing love and compassion into this world. But the city of Sterling don't want to know about it. They say we have to be fair. Well, I say this. Impose very strict bans on holding events within your city limits. You have a coastal area. Ban the docking of boats. Have them in the harbour, already moored, already tied up before, say 8 o'clock. Because it might disturb the ambience of the diner, if you want to look at it like that. If you want to have the dining pushed back a couple of hours. No fishing before 10 in the night. After 10 o'clock, you have to stop your fishing by 5 o'clock in the morning. Or worse, 3 in the morning. It won't even get the time for the poor fishermen to get out there in the water, get their wares, come back. If you want to be ultimately fair, I challenge you to ring up the Australian, I think it's the Australian air, let me see, air traffic controls council or something like that, and say, yeah, can you stop having your planes fly overhead and let, after sunset? We would like to keep it peaceful and quiet around these parts. You know what they're gonna do to you? They're gonna laugh at you. They're gonna laugh at you. Going, we're gonna keep them flying over this Sterling City and its district. As a matter of fact, we might fly a little bit lower. You ring up McDonald's Australia, you ring up KFC Australia, you ring up all these people, say, you can't do this, you can't do... Hey, I'm saying, yeah, if you are putting so much pressure on the church, you say to tell them that they can't do these things. Only have even they can't have band practice. You gotta have it stretched out to everything. Don't just single out one organization or one group of people. Spread out all over the place. Have Sterling City under martial law. That's it. People want to have a party. They go, alright. If that's the case, then we'll move out. We'll move to Fremantle. We'll move to Broome. We'll move to away from the city. That area will be nothing more than a bloody ghost town. A ghost district. It will be a Whiteborn in, I think it's in WA, where there's a huge amount of asbestos still in the air and still in the buildings. Whiteborn, Sterling City, Western Australia, the most abandoned places in Australia. The abandoned the most abandoned city districts in Australia. One because of health reasons, one because of a overbearing city council system that can't control its own regulations. As I said, if you want to be fair, be fair. Ban birthday parties, ban Christmas parties, ban grand final parties, ban people teaching music classes in their own homes, ban yoga classes, dance classes in their own homes, ban public displays of affection. Just go ahead. Go ahead and do all this banning. You have a lot of people going, alright, we want out. We're selling the place. We don't care if we lose money. We'll just buy it elsewhere. We'll move elsewhere. Hell, do you people who love to party in Sterling City? Come to New South Wales, the real party state. You miss out on the AFL, but you sure get the NRL. Now, to close this up, I can see that this city is going to go downhill. This city district is going to go downhill. So I'm shopping. The only things that'll be living in there will be the birds of the sky, the fish in the harbour, and the stray cat and dog in the walking around the streets. Yeah, the odd person driving through it, seeing these wrecks and ruins in 20 years' time. Asking what happened. Well, put on this video. You'll find out what happened. Overtaxing of its population. Well, as you can tell, my voice is starting to get a bit more hoarse than that. And I have to rest up a bit before I do anything else to I have some advice for this council. Sterling City, crush. Let's say we're going to take out all these fines and that. Do what you do. Help out the community. Be friendly to the church. That's all I ask. This has been Rhino Barrows, and this has been my V-Rant. Bye.